Hello friends, I am Dr. Shaji Karande. Now I would like to discuss the toasted English, that is the part second. Already we have discussed the part first of the toasted English, in which we have discussed about the writer R.K. Narayan and about the essay in short. That's the introduction we have seen about the essay toasted English. Now let us discuss in detail about the essay toasted English. What we have seen the last time, just we would like to revise it. We have seen in the last time, especially in the last slide, which we have seen in the part first. We Indians use English on the large scale today, and there are a number of people who use English in India, and English exists everywhere, especially in learning, justice, administration, and each field, or you can say in each sector in India. But there are only educated people could talk and understand English. Here, the writer tells us that now it's a time which has come now that English should be used by every person in market, on the street, and in every walk. Here, the author wants us to make a brand of Indian English. Here, he does not mean that we should go back to those days when we heard, particularly in the railway, where you going, man, means where are you going, man. Here, Bharat English will always respect the dignity of grammar, but our brand name and Swadeshi stamp. Here, the writer tells he wants us he wants to tell us that Bharat English will always respect the dignity of grammar, but our brand name and Swadeshi stamp. Now, let us discuss the toasted English, the essay in detail. When we see the title toasted English, in American restaurants, the American people, they call English muffins as toasted English. Muffins, in the sense, which are the cakes that are used to eat with the tea, that the tea cakes. In this way, the Americans restaurants, they call muffins as toasted English. When we see muffins, when heat is given uh, to the toast at that time, that it the color that changes, then uh, there is a complete change in the toast. So they call it as a toasted English. They call English muffins as toasted English. The toasted muffins are made in America, but they retain English as a sort of concession to their origin. We know that muffins, it is the symbol used for the English language, that the toasted muffins which are made in America, but they kept English. Though the English language, it is the origin of British, but that English language is kept by Americans in their own soil. So they retain English as a sort of concession to their origin, and that became the American English. So Americans allowed the English to flourish on their own soil. Though English is not their own language, it's a British language, but Americans allowed the English language to flourish, to develop on their own soil. The American English is quite different than British English. Here the writer tried to show the difference between American English and British English. How the American English is quite different than British English. It can be said that it has undergone toasting. So the name is given toasted English. It has undergone toasting in the sense because there are changes that took place. There are changes that took place by using the British English in America. So the title is given by the writer to the particular essay, the toasted English. So the American has its own style and finishing. When American people started to use English in their own land, at that time, English language, it has uh, its own style, in the sense American style. American English has its own style, and even it has its own finishing. When we think about the American English, it is quite easy and it is free to use. Even their signboards say, whenever we see read the signboards, it is to be said that newly planted don't walk. These four words are enough to warn the trespasser. Trespasser means the person who is walking on the road. That person is called the trespasser. Warn in the sense warning. It is one kind of a suggestion. So their signboards say, newly planted don't walk. These are the only four words which are enough to the person in order to give the warning to the trespasser. Where our signboards will say, when we uh, read such kind of signboards in our country, it will say, under Municipal Act so and so, this area has been reserved and any vehicle stationed thereon will be deemed to have contravened subsection so and so of the Motor Vehicle Act. In this way, such kind of the long signboards that we can read in our own country, but American English they will give such kind of a signboard only the four words newly planted don't walk. In this way, you come to know that American signboards, even they will say absolutely no parking. Whenever we see another signboard, American will say absolutely no parking. Here, the author has seen some American office doors also, which he has seen the words do not enter. May see another example of signboard is given here by the writer. American signboard will say absolutely no parking. Even he has seen some American offices, which there are some words that are written on the office doors, especially the words are written do not enter. Even the further, a writer tells us that there are some traffic signs. We just say go or wait. I mean, these are the signs of the traffic are there. Just only words are written there go or wait. And Americans use in this way, American people use such a very flexible, very simple English routinely. Here, author calls it as a toasted English. So here, author, why it is called a toasted English? Because English is the origin of British, and when British ruled over America, and at that time, American people also started to use English language. And so they try to use that English in their own land. So they try to flourish it and develop it. And author calls it as a toasted English because there are the changes that took place and that American English that differs from British English. So author calls it as a toasted English. So American use a single word in many situations. See the example. The author further wants to tell in what way American English is different from the British English. He has given different examples. First of all, author wants to tell us that Americans use single word in many situations. See the example. The word check check. The word check. It can be used as I will check. It means I will find out. I will investigate. I will examine. I will scrutinize. I will verify or I will prove. Prove is search, verify verification, scrutinize to examine, to investigate, and I will find out. These are the different meaning situations that only one word check is used. In this way, the word check, it can be used as I will check, which has different meanings. That same word can be used in many situations. Now see the another example. The same word, it can be used in a different way. Your check, check. Your check means check. Your check means your ticket, your token. Your ticket, your token. Even it is to be said, check room, check room is where you leave your possession for a while. Check room means that where you leave LAV, you leave your possession for a while. Then another in next situation, the check word is used for check girl. Check girl is one who takes care of your coat, umbrella, or anything else that you may leave custody. then check in and check out. These are also the words which are used for arrival and departure to or from hotel. Whenever we go to the restaurant hotel, at that time we know that first of all we have to make an entry of your name, your address, then your arrival time, that is check-in. And when you are going to leave the room, that is the check-out. That is arrival and departure time from to and from the hotel. It means check in and check out. In this way, there are many such words that can be used in different situations with different meanings, like okay, yeah, chicken, excuse me. Such kind of the words that are used by the writer. And uh, at the end of this particular essay, Toasted English, here the writer wants to tell us that we should, he feels that we should make use of the brand of Indian English. The author wants us to make a brand of Indian English, and it does not mean that we should go back to those days when we heard, particularly in the railways, that we are where are you going, man. Here author wants to tell us that Bharat English will always respect the dignity of grammar, and but our brand name and Swadeshi stamp. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. In this way, we have discussed here the prose toasted English in